All right, here's our last video for lesson 7.3. We're going to evaluate our reciprocal functions. Evaluate the secant, cosecant, and cotangent of a 135-degree angle. So, guess where we're going to start? We're going to draw our angle in the unit circle. No surprise there, right? Oh, this is not drawing very well. Let's see. Yeah, a little bit better. Okay, so we have our unit circle. We know this is 1, -1, 1, -1. We're going to draw a 135-degree angle. We've got our initial side. 135 degrees, here to here is 90. 135 is another 45 degrees into that angle, or into that quadrant. So we're going to go halfway. And here's our 135-degree angle. So let's create a reference triangle. So we are going to, here's our point, our terminal point on the unit circle. Connect to the x-axis. There is our reference triangle. The reference angle right here is going to be 180 minus 135, which is a 45-degree angle. All right, so for your 45-degree angles, remember you're in the unit circle, so we know the hypotenuse is 1. If you remember in an earlier video, we said we could just memorize. If your hypotenuse is 1 in the unit circle, your side lengths are just root 2 over 2. You could go through the math of finding it every time, but you're going to get this every time, so root 2 over 2. Should this be positive or negative? So from the origin, we're going to the left, root 2 over 2, so that's going to be negative. And then we're going up root 2 over 2, which is positive. Okay, so if we remember, let's see, this is our point on our terminal point has the ordered pair negative root 2 over 2, comma, root 2 over 2. We'll just remember that cosine of theta is that x value, sine of theta is the y value. Okay, well, what do we need to evaluate? We need secant, cosecant, and cotangent. So secant of our 135-degree angle, if you remember, secant is the reciprocal of cosine. So cosine of our angle here is going to be the adjacent side divided by the hypotenuse. So we want the reciprocal of that, so we're going to do the hypotenuse divided by the adjacent side, negative root 2 over 2. Okay, well, we're not going to leave it like that. You can't leave a fraction in a fraction, so of course we have a little bit of work to do. You take your numerator 1, multiply by the reciprocal, a negative 2 over root 2. That is just a negative 2 over root 2, and then we have to rationalize. So that leaves us with a negative 2 root 2 over square root of 2 times square root of 2 is 2. Those 2's will cancel, leaving you with just a negative root 2. So let's rewrite. We have secant of our 135-degree angle is equal to a negative root 2. There is one of our reciprocal functions. We also need the cosecant. So cosecant is the reciprocal of the sine function. So our sine function is opposite over hypotenuse. So we're going to do hypotenuse over the opposite, root 2 over 2. Well, we just did all that math up here. We had a negative, but it still was 1 over root 2 over 2. So our answer is just going to be positive, but I can just jump right to, I know it's going to simplify to a square root of 2. So the cosecant of 135 degrees is equal to a positive root 2. All right, last we have cotangent. So cotangent of 135 is equal to the reciprocal of your tangent. So your tangent is opposite over adjacent. So let's do the adjacent, negative root 2 over 2, divided by the opposite, root 2 over 2. Well, essentially we have root 2 over 2 divided by root 2 over 2. Anything divided by itself equals 1, but it is a negative divided by a positive, so it's going to equal a negative 1. So cotangent of 135 equals negative 1. And there we have our reciprocal functions.